given to you for full understanding of where we are in history and how Dr. Hendo I.L. Henderson, the ad hoc Chief Justice of the Universal World Court, put everything together lawfully and in order for the global reset. In the early 1980s, Dr. Henderson went to the courthouse in Webster Parish, Louisiana, to pull documents of mineral rights that were taken out of his family's land of 200,000 acres in Webster Parish, Louisiana. That was over the course of 100 years. These mineral rights were stolen by such corporations as Exxon Oil, Standard Oil, American Oil, British Petroleum, known as BP, Chevron, Texaco, Southwestern Bell Telephone, which is now known as AT&T, Steve Madden Incorporated, Halliburton, Hibernia Bank, Bank of America, the Global Central Banks, World Bank, IMF, IRS, and all financial institutions of the planet. These assets were also stolen by the families of Romanoff, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Roosevelt, and yes, even Elon Musk. In addition to that, a family recipe that was the base recipe for Coca-Cola was stolen by a Mr. Pepperton, who used the said family recipe to build the Coca-Cola Corporation. When all was said and done, adding all of the mineral rights up at current value that were taken from the courthouse, it came to $875 billion in U.S. dollars. With interest accrued since the year of 2000, the trust is valued over $900 trillion. Dr. Henderson has proven to the world through his verified family lineage and his blood, DNA, RNA, that he is of the bloodline of the true royal family of this planet through King David and is of the tribe of Judah. Judah has always been the lawgivers. He is the proven heir of the covenant of salt, which was given by our Creator, Yah, Allah, to King David and his heirs forever. Thus, he has the rights to use the assets of this planet to restore mankind. Dr. Henderson understood that all corporations fell under the control of the Vatican, which includes all 501c3 non-profit religious institutions, regardless of faith, and that the colonial system under Britain was part of this system, as well as the U.S. corporation, commonly called the U.S. government. However, it has not been a government by the people, for the people, since 1871. It has been a corporation. And the U.S. Corp was the enforcement arm of the Vatican and the British Crown. Therefore, Dr. Henderson filed a lawsuit against all three, and that suit stated that they could not file bankruptcy to get out of paying him. It also stated that it was being brought to the World Court on behalf of all righteous people of the planet. As an individual was not able to take a case to the World Court at that time, in 1999, the King of Sudan agreed to take Doctor's case to the court at The Hague, Netherlands. In a ruling of 14-1 in Dr. Henderson's favor, a determination came down in the year of 2000. It had to go uncontested 5 years before becoming final judgment. That judgment came down as final, uncontested, in 2005. Shortly thereafter, the U.S. corporation filed bankruptcy. Since that time, all 198 nations who had lawsuits against the same three entities of the Vatican, the false Crown of England, and the U.S. corporation, of war crimes, human rights abuses, genocide, sex trafficking, pedophilia, etc. Those nations signed on to Doctor's lawsuit as a class action. The 198 nations recognized what Dr. Henderson had done on their behalf, and he was seated as the ad hoc Chief Justice of the Universal World Court, June 28th of 2010. In addition, because of Doctor's proven ability and desire to restore mankind, the 5 nations of the UN Security Council, the US, UK, Russia, France, and Japan, have submitted their militaries as the enforcement arm of the Universal World Court and are currently engaged in the destruction of bioweapons labs, sex trafficking rings, pedophile rings, drug trafficking rings, and those that have perpetrated human rights abuses and genocide via even those things known as so-called vaccines. October the 15th of 2012, the World Court tried both the Vatican and the false Crown of England on 2 charges. Global financial terrorism and human sex trafficking. They were found guilty on both counts, and on February the 1st of 2013, Pope Benedict stepped down, not because of health reasons, as was said in the mainstream media, but because he was under house arrest. At the same time, Queen Elizabeth was under house arrest, and of course we have seen the chaos since then, as her family members have been charged with sex trafficking and pedophilia, and even their grandsons have had to go find themselves jobs to support their families, as the assets that the crown stole from mankind has now been seized. When George Bergoglio, Pope Francis, was seated, he never took the true position of Pope and has never worn all of the papal garments. All 3 entities, the Vatican, the false Crown of England, and the U.S. corporation, have all been dead since the year of 2000. 1 month later, on March the 1st, after Pope Benedict stepped down, in the year of 2013, the master sequester came down from Dr. Henderson and the global fiduciary to sequester all assets that the Vatican, false Crown of England, and the U.S. corporation had stolen from the 198 nations. Within the U.S., on October 4th of 2013, under House Joint Resolution 85 of the 113th Congress, in Section 101B2, the Master Sequester became the budgetary authority for the U.S. budget. The point of the sequester was to return to mankind what was stolen from them over the course of the last 1,000 years. So during this whole time, up until this point, the Western world system is nothing more than the old Babylonian system, and it is collapsing as we speak. The indexing process is what Dr. Henderson put in place to restore back to mankind what was stolen from them. You can see how to index yourself and participate in the new order for the world under the global reset for restoration and redemption of all mankind. That information can be found on this website. Please go to the top page link marked indexing.